The Trump administration has announced a high-profile partnership with Elon Musk's AI venture, xAI, aiming to transform the way the U.S. government operates. On Thursday morning, the General Services Administration confirmed the deal, giving federal agencies access to xAI's cutting-edge models, Grok 4 and Grok 4 Fast. The agreement runs through March 2027 and is pitched as a cost-effective way to streamline federal workflow, procurement, and technology services. Elon Musk, co-founder and CEO of xAI, hailed the deal, calling his company's models the most powerful AI compute and most capable AI models in the world. In a statement, Musk credited President Trump's leadership, saying, "Thanks to President Trump and his administration, xAI's frontier AI is now unlocked for every federal agency, empowering the U.S. government to innovate faster and accomplish its mission more effectively than ever before." The billionaire added that xAI looks forward to working with Trump's team to rapidly deploy artificial intelligence across government, accelerating innovation and efficiency. Josh Gruenbaum, Federal Acquisition Service Commissioner at the GSA, says widespread access to AI models is an essential tool not just to fulfill President Trump's pledge that America will win the AI race, but also to build what he calls an efficient, accountable government taxpayers deserve. As part of the deal, xAI engineers will fully support federal agencies to accelerate the adoption of Grok, transforming how government operations run. The deal also provides agencies with an upgrade path to FedRAMP, the government's standardized security program, marking a key milestone in GSA's broader OneGov strategy. Last month, GSA announced the launch of a new tool it says will be instrumental in enabling agencies across the federal government to efficiently implement artificial intelligence at scale and take a major step forward, rolling out the president's AI action plan. After completing his tenure with the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, in late May in a public falling out with Trump, Musk was seen sitting next to and talking with Trump at the memorial service for Charlie Kirk last weekend in Arizona, suggesting a possible rekindling of their friendship. Elon came over and said hello, Trump said to reporters after the event. "I thought it was nice. He came over, we had a little conversation."
You posted yesterday that a good way to save money could be to cancel some of Musk's contracts. How seriously are you considering that?
Well, we'll take a look at everything. I look at everything. He's got a lot of money. He gets a lot of subsidy. So we'll take a look at that. Only if it's fair. Only if it's fair for him and for the country, I would certainly think about it, yeah, but it has to be fair.
Mr. President, would you consider reopening investigations into his companies? There are a bunch of investigations.
I didn't know that they had any, but they had them. I would just let them speak for themselves. I had no idea. Excuse me. I have no idea whether or not they had investigations.
And what's your view on Elon Musk as of today? I mean, have you heard from him at all? Is your team?
Honestly, I've been so busy working on China, working on Russia, working on Iran, working on so many. I'm not thinking about Elon. I just wish him well.
Criticism that I've seen, and I'm sure you've seen, regarding Elon Musk and your big, beautiful bill. What's your reaction to that? Do you think it in any way hurts passage in the Senate, which, of course, what is you're seeking?
Well, look, I've always liked Elon, and it's always very surprised. You saw the words he had for me, the words of, and he hasn't said anything about me that's bad. I'd rather have him criticize me than the bill, because the bill is incredible. It's the biggest cut in the history of our country. We've never cut. It's about 1.6 trillion in cuts. It's the biggest tax cut. You would say, people's taxes will go way down. But it's the biggest tax cut in history. It's we are doing things in that bill that are unbelievable. And when you look at what we're doing for small businesses, for people, for middle-income people, all of the things that we're doing, nobody's ever seen anything like it. And Elon's upset because we took the EV mandate, and which was a lot of money for electric vehicles, and they're having a hard time, the electric vehicles, and they want us to pay billions of dollars in subsidy. And, you know, Elon knew this from the beginning. He knew it for a long time ago. That's been in there. That's been, I would say, JD, that hasn't changed. That's been right from the beginning. Mr. Secretary, that hasn't changed at all, right from the beginning. But I know that disturbed him. He wanted, and rightfully, you know, he recommended somebody from, that he, I guess, knew very well. I'm sure he respected him, but to run NASA. And I didn't think it was appropriate. And he happened to be a Democrat, like totally Democrat. And I say, you know, look, we won. We get certain privileges, and one of the privileges, we don't have to appoint a Democrat. NASA is very important. We have great people. General Kane is going to be picking somebody with our. We'll be checking him out, seeing. But he wanted that person, a certain person, and we said no. And you know, I can understand why he's upset. Remember, he was here for a long time. You saw a man who was very happy when he stood behind the Oval Desk, and even with the black eye, I said, "Do you want a little makeup? We'll get you a little makeup." But he said, "No, I don't think so," which is interesting and very nice. He wants to be who he is, so you could make that statement too, I guess. Look, Elon and I had a great relationship. I don't know if we're well anymore. I was surprised because you were here. Everybody in this room practically was here as we had a wonderful send-off. He said wonderful things about me. You couldn't have nicer. Said the best thing. He's worn the hat. Trump was right about everything. And I am right about the great, big, beautiful bill. We call it a great, big, beautiful bill because that's what it is. And again, biggest tax cuts in history, biggest economic development moves anywhere. We've never done anything like it. Business is spurred, and I don't know if you've seen the numbers, but the numbers came out. Even the CBO, which is run by Democrats, said that we're going to be doing. You know, I'd like you to discuss it. The 2.8 trillion that CBO. This is a group of people that are Democrats. They're very hostile to us. They just came out with phenomenal numbers. What it does. You want to mention that, Scott?
Yes, sir. So what we've seen is we keep hearing from the CBO that there's going to be a large deficit from the bill, which we disagree with, but using the CBO scoring, they came out and scored the tariff revenue. We think it'll be the minimum of 2.8 trillion over the 10-year window, which actually puts the bill in surplus if you include the tariff revenue, which they won't do.
It gives you a tremendous surplus, but we're not allowed to use that. For some reason, they say scoring. Nobody knows what scoring means. Maybe a couple of people, but nobody. Somebody sits in the background. They say, well, we're not going to allow that.